Hello everyone. Today we are here with a new topic and the name of the topic is verbs introduction. So let us start. First of all, we will come to know that what is a verb. A verb is defined as a word which shows action or state of being. So action words are known as verbs. Wherever we come to know that something is in action, okay, and there is a movement there or an action is being performed there, so there we use a verb. For example, birds build nests. Build here is a verb because here it is a state of an action that is showing that some action is being performed by the birds. That is why build here is a verb. Whereas the next example says we sleep at night. Again, sleeping is an action, that is why sleep refers to a verb. Now, there are different forms of the verb. There are be forms of verbs. For example, am, is, are, was, were, be, been and be. All these forms are of be verb. For example, the workers were tired. Again, instead of a main verb, we have used the be form of the verb, that is were. The workers were tired. The train is late. Without these be verbs, the sentence will not be complete. That is why be verbs also play an important role. Now, next note is that some sentences, especially orders, may consist of only or mainly verbs. There are some examples, there are some sentences where especially orders are there. We are giving orders. So while using those sentences, that sentences can only consist of the main verbs. For example, stop. Stop is what? Stop is a sentence here, but it is an order and here it is consisting of only the main verb. Don't cry. Again, this is an order and here it is consisting of the mainly verb, that is cry. Verbs may be used on their own or along with other verbs to make complete sentences. Okay, for example, she was sitting on a chair. Sitting is here a main verb, but with sitting we have to use the word was, and with the help of the use of was, we are able to complete the sentences. If we write it like that, she is sitting on a chair, the sentence will not be complete. But when we are writing it as she was sitting on a chair, she is sitting on a chair, then that sentence will be correct. So this is an important note which we have to take care of. Now there are types of verbs. There are especially two types of verbs, that is action verbs and being verbs. For example, action verbs are also called principal verbs or main verbs, whereas being verbs show the state of being. So how many types of verbs are there? There are two types of verbs. First one is action verbs and the next one is being verbs. And action verbs are also called principal or main verbs. Why? Because they give information about the actual action. That is why they are known as action verbs or principal or main verbs. But when we come to the next type of noun, that is being verbs show the state of being only. Okay, they are also called auxiliary or helping verbs, and they are used along with main verbs to show the time of action. So why being verbs are used? Being verbs are used along with the main verbs to show the time of action, whereas principal or main verbs will give the information about the actual sentences. Now, different forms of main verbs. Principal or main verbs which describe action. I already told you that principal or main verbs are the verbs which describe action, whereas the different forms of the main verb can be used to denote different tenses and the number or person of the subject. So here the use of different forms of the main verb is that can be used to denote different tenses. There are three kinds of tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. So in order to denote different tenses and the number or person of the subject, that is singular or plural, we have to use different forms of the verbs. Now coming to the use of different forms of main verbs. The first use says that the base form of the main verb is used with the singular and plural first person. and second person and plural third person to denote the simple present tense. Students, I have already taught you that what is first person, what is second person, and what is plural for what is third person. So revise all those things if you don't remember. So here this point says that the base form of the main verb is used with the singular and plural first person. Okay, base form will be used with what? Singular and plural first person, second person and plural third person. Base forms of the verb will be used. You have to remember all these things. And what does this denote? This will denote the simple present tense. Now let us see an example. We play cricket. Here we is what? We is plural, okay, and play is a singular form of the main verb, that is a base form of the main verb. So this sentence, we play cricket, denotes the simple present tense. Now the S form is used with singular third person to denote the simple present tense. Again we use the S form of the verb. Why we use that? In order to denote the simple present tense. The suffixes es and ies are also used to write this form. For example, he plays cricket. Play, with play we are adding a suffix s, that is why it became he plays cricket. And he plays cricket is of which form of sentence? It is simple present tense. Now more examples are like this, that for example, my little brother goes to school. Go, with go we add a suffix es and it becomes goes, and this is denoting the simple present tense. Now let us proceed further. The ing form, also known as the present participle. Now we have to talk about present participle tense. Now this present participle is formed by using the word ing. Okay, using the suffix ing with the auxiliaries is, am, are, was, were to form present and past continuous tense. So when we add ing with auxiliaries such as is, am, are, was, were, that will change into the present and past continuous tense. For example, he is playing cricket. Before this we saw that there was an example, he plays cricket, but to convert it into present continuous tense we are using the auxiliary is, as well as with the verb play we use ing as a suffix and it is converted into present continuous tense. Similarly, when we change into the past form, is used in the simple past tense with singular and plural subjects of all three persons. The point says the past form is used in the simple past tense with singular and plural subjects of all three persons. For example, I played cricket. Okay, so this is the played is the past form and with singular as well as plural subject. Here singular subject is I, whereas when we take a plural subject, for example we can write here we played cricket also. So with singular and plural subjects of all three persons, the past form is used. Next point says the past participle form is used with auxiliaries has, have, had to form present and past perfect tenses. In order to change the sentence to present and past perfect tense, we have to use the past participle with the auxiliaries has, have and had. For example, we have played cricket. The past participle form was played, and with played we have used the auxiliary have. So this sentence is changed into a past perfect tense. We have played cricket. So we have to be careful while using